Hello, Sweet Tooth here, and Flutter Pyrox is playing as attorney.
You're the one who's playing it, silly goose.
Flutter Pyrox is playing this today.
No, I'm not.
Mm-hmm. Gonna go into a trial.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor.
Maggie? Oh.
Ah, Detective Gumshoe!
Are you doing alright? How are you feeling, pal?
As if you need to ask either question, sir.
Don't let him get you down, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay?
Roger.
And you!
Yes?
You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent. You hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest, because failing to lawyer well is an arrestable offense.
I think he's serious.
Hey, detective. You're on our side for once, right?
Yep.
Unless I lose the case.
So you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir?
Of course. I got the situation under control, pal. I'm gonna be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out, alright?
Sure.
Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You got me?
I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. I always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today, huh?
I can only wish.
Detective Gumshoe being the first one on the stand isn't exactly the best thing, right?
Yeah.
But at least he's not the type to directly lie, at least. He says the facts, he just forgets things.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Ah, bitter. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Ah! What? What's wrong? Nothing, it's just, whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You's talking to me?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was the phony Phoenix. Zinhiop. I see, so our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Our trusty?
I feel like he doesn't believe that there was a fake one. He just is like, oh, you had an edgy face, didn't you, Phoenix?
So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you're a fake or the real deal, we will find out soon enough through this trial today.
Really?
But I can already tell you I'm the real Phoenix Wright. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. Ah, okay. That's what I intend to find out.
But you beat him last time.
I beat you before, you one-case pony. There's no denying it. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me for some reason or another. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial.
Well, Gumshoe is the epitome of irrelevant testimony.
Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. Not planning on repeating anything that phony he said. Trust me.
You was talking to me, pal?
Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Let's start with the formalities, shall we? Name and occupation. Witness, state your name for the court.
Huh? Oh, sorry, sir. The name's Police Department Detective. Occupation Dick Gumshoe.
Other way around, detective.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Anyway, I'm the officer in charge of this case since yesterday, sir.
Since yesterday.
Yeah, guy was on the initial investigations tied up with another case now.
I hope Gumshoe's really got everything under control for everyone's sake.
I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case?
Yes, sir. The victim's name was Glenn Elm. He was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company specializing in the blue screener death, sir. This is the victim's autopsy report.
The court accepts this into the evidence. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m.
And here's the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought to him by the waitress.
The waitress being the accused?
Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of the coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. Gene Armstrong, the owner and chef, and a regular by the name of Mr. Victor Kudo.
Still seems to be a very straightforward case to me.
You know, I think I figured out what we're going to be establishing today. We're just going to be establishing that one other person was in this room. And then we're going to be like, we can't do anything without that person here. We demand you bring that person to court. And then everything stops for the day. Because they need to figure out who is this.
Probably.
It's because we already did this before.
Come, detective, take up this hammer. And nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony.
Yes, sir. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy, Glenn Elm, was listening to the radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup. And what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And, it looks like this bird might have had, well, some kind of motive.
Some kind.
Okay.
That's really helping her.
Yeah.
That's really giving her, explaining that anyone could have had this motive. Just by looking at him.
Using the dark aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. The facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you to begin your cross-examination, but... Yes? Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you that wasn't me. The incident. Dun, dun, dun. Can I stop you for just a minute?
Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence?
So desperate for that to be true is practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given by Miss Bird. She claims that there was another man at the victim's table.
Yeah, that's what you said, pal. And
What killer wouldn't say that when faced with a homicide conviction? Hey. Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe?
Yeah, it's true, pal. Their two testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table.
What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not? Press harder. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. Ha! That argument is as weak as a coffee at Tribulations, right? I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Looks more like a photo to me. Yes, one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population, the defendant.
Oh, I guess it was important to press on that, because now he gets a picture.
This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poisoning took place, correct? I think the court will agree that with such a clear view of the scene of the crime, how Mr. Trike could anyone have overlooked a second person at the table? Certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clear. Interesting.
Well, now we know how the chef saw him and that other person didn't.
Yeah. He was listening to his radio, you say?
Yeah, he has a portable radio in his chest pocket, pal.
Ryan told us that too, didn't she? Something about how one of them had some sort of earpiece.
What should I do? Should I press on this point a little harder or not?
Well, you're allowed to press everything.
Cool. Yeah, what was it that the victim was listening to on the radio? Detective Gumshoe?
Huh? How should I know, pal?
Thanks a lot. We're now one step closer to the middle of nowhere.
This isn't going very well, is it?
Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison and how it was used? So, traces of the poison were found in a coffee cup and nowhere else?
Not sure I get you, pal.
Was the poison a liquid or was it a powder?
If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance.
So the poison could have been in anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper? Huh.
Maybe someone puts pepper in their coffee.
Do you put salt and pepper in your coffee, Trey? The victim.
Cook his coffee black with no sugar.
How do you know? Did you examine how much sugar was in the coffee?
I guess so. Yang. It seems that the poison could only have been in the coffee. What should I do? Should I press? Let's press. Are you absolutely certain that the victim even drank any of his coffee?
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
According to this file, poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. But what proof is there that the victim ever drank any of it?
Oh, hey, you're right, pal. That's what I was thinking.
In case you were wondering, the last objection was for the detective there.
Oh, for me.
Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have the time to waste, you have the time to present that piece of evidence. Yes, that piece.
This is good to saying you're working for me, not the defense attorney. Cut it out. What piece was it again?
This.
Coffee.
Should I be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first degree burns?
Oh, now I remember, sir. This is the victim's coffee cup.
Yes, the victim's cup. Take a good look at the rim. Oh yes, it's unmistakable. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee that was in his cup. The victim gulped down the bitter death that the waitress brought to him. Like this!
For the record, the only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Upon further investigation of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance.
Potassium cyanide. I've heard of that chemical before. Exactly how strong is this poison, Detective Gumshoe?
It's, well, that stuff's lethal. Eat too much in your history. That tells us nothing. How much is too much?
Lethal dose is 0.2 grams. That's about enough to finish anyone off.
2 grams? 0.2 grams? How much is that? You know when you swab your ears for earwax? Yeah, about that much.
Earwax, huh? Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. Some kind of motive?
Yeah, but if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportion, pal.
You know what my golden rule is, Detective? Chuck out a bad cup of coffee and you can always get another.
Huh? I don't get it, pal.
I'm saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to chuck you out. So stick to the facts, Detective. Now then, what was Miss Bird's motive? Come on, Gumshoe.
She was... They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket.
I knew it. That's what we heard yesterday, too.
It disappeared from the scene of the crime.
It wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000.
Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one.
Then is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on the point a little harder or not? Pressy. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared in no way implicates my client. Ha! I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. That's the $500,000 lottery ticket?
One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search. Of the defendant.
What? Order, order. Huh. She's quite a lucky bird, our little waitress. You will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately. Better keep an eye on that ticket. The way the judge's voice is quivering. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial, too. But it feels heavier now, somehow. $500,000, you say? just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. That's on Maggie's person, unfortunately. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime of which she is charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit this crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There's also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
The judge wants it.
That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money.
Not good, Nick. The evidence against Maggie is starting to pile up fast. Not to mention they bribed the judge in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. It's got more evidence. This is the apron of the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time.
Wow, that's not the cleanest apron I've seen.
That stain looks like... can't be blood, can it? Huh. It seems the star of our play was a little flustered. And somehow spilled coffee on herself. Coffee? It's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing about this apron. No, there's something else that stands out even more. Something else? I presume you mean... Of course, I'm referring to the pocket. The pocket? A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Potassium cyanide, the very poison used by the killer, was in her apron pocket. Bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket.
Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it, pal.
What? Order, order, order. The court will accept these items into evidence. There's something that's still bothering me, Mr. Goodell. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? Bloodstain? What bloodstain could that be? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-covered stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You don't need to be told, just look at it. Well, detective? Could this stain really be blood?
No way, sir. That's just ketchup, sir.
Ketchup?
She must have gotten some on her apron while taking some on their breakfast that day.
You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Pull a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness.
What? I thought everyone knew what it was already.
I haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They have all been clearly established. Well, Trite, seems you really are a phony after all.
What does this have to do with him studying law or not?
Yeah, I don't know. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue with your testimony. Describe for the court the crime scene and the findings of your investigation there.
Of another person's investigation there. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by kinda scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. Must have been real tough for her. The The victim didn't have any identification on him. We figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison. That was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene, sir.
You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court you're a real lawyer, Trite. Don't count on any more cross-examinations after this one, so let's the fun begin.
Look, I am a defense attorney. Here's my badge.
Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe.
There's an old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened.
Ah, we're obviously talking about the same old man.
Officers were dispatched right after reporting him in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? Then he hurled abuse at them, and seeds.
Seeds. Ha! It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. I guess not even the mighty Godot can avoid being attacked by that guy.
Why didn't that guy get a charge of assaulting police officers?
Yeah. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. How long was the defendant unconscious for?
The officers got to the crime scene around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at that time. Took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. Would've liked to have been on the scene myself, pal.
Bet you would have liked to have carried out the search too.
I would've loved to see Maggie sleep like that. All pretty and peaceful.
You're a professional detective, not a professional birdwatcher.
That sounds really creepy. Way to make me creepy, don't you?
Yeah. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. All we need to know about is the investigation.
It's one thing to say that about someone you're in a relationship with, another to say about a person you haven't even told you like them.
I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I?
And Maggie had zero reaction to hearing that.
Yeah. Huh. You didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen then?
No, I don't think so, pal. Victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet.
58 cents.
Yeah, can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal.
Victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here.
Calling him an outlaw?
Wait a sec.
Huh? Did I say something dumb again?
Let me paraphrase what you just testified to, of course. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes?
Yeah, basically, pal.
In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly?
Oh, that.
So let down, he's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going on.
He's inspecting literally every time you open your mouth for it to end up being something. There was this prescription bag on the table, along with the lottery ticket.
Seems Mr. Glenn Elk visited his doctor before he went to Tribulations.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds.
That's a reliable enough source for the court. What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more?
You can ask about his health insurance. What? Why?
So the victim had no form of identification on him, correct?
Yeah.
And yet, before arriving at the restaurant, he went to see a doctor. Which means he must have had his medical insurance card with him.
Oh,
Oh, that is
Yeah.
very true.
that's actually a smart one. It sounds way smarter than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah. The fact that it hasn't been found points to only one obvious conclusion. The victim's medical card was stolen.
Yeah, you definitely need some form of identification to get medicine.
Yeah. Ha! True, the victim didn't have a medical insurance card. But why? Because Mr. Glenn Elk didn't have medical insurance to begin with. Huh? So I thought, a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. A bit of an edge never hurt anyone.
Looks like we're off course again, Nick.
Witness, please continue with your testimony. Explain for the court the events following a preliminary investigation. Should I go back?
Apparently you can get the prescription bag if you ask about it.
So what sort of medicine is in the bag?
Well, actually, the bag we found was empty.
Huh?
Yeah, completely empty.
It is completely empty. Ha! You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence? Desperate are you, Trek? Now what happened with the investigation after that, Detective?
Why would you be carrying around an empty medicine bag?
Yeah. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket?
Hey, yeah, you nailed it, pal. Happens to me all the time. We had a department party the other day when I got home. I was wearing the boss's shoes.
Keep up with this crazy testimony, Detective, and those shows will end up down your throat.
Sorry.
So trite. Someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to if I had any. It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with that testimony, witness. Where's the medicine?
Yeah, he didn't testify about the medicine being missing.
Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony.
Oh ho, finally, pal. I'm getting all anxious just waiting. Hurry up, will ya?
You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later?
No, they didn't.
The victim was given a prescription right before going to Tribulations. Where then did the medicine disappear to?
You are too cool, pal.
What?
He's super happy with you.
Indeed. Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence?
I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh?
The victim was killed by the poison, and then the victim's medicines mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Order. Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that? Huh. That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological?
I'm gonna look that up real quick. Let's see if we can get a reading of how you're supposed to pronounce that. OT. Well, I got the IST version. I like how bringing up that immediately brought up COVID-19.
That brought up COVID-19.
Yeah, it's like if you're experiencing COVID symptoms. Otolaryngology. There's our
Otolaryngological.
Yeah.
Otolaryngological.
There we go.
Weird. Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. A war wound. The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. But what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Yes, there it is, in a very, very fine print. Seems Mr. Elg correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. Seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No.
Nah. If you don't think of something quick, it'll be all over.
She's right. But I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do?
My medication was still missing. Where did it go?
Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Tribulations. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal.
But it's still vanished.
That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable.
And the only other thing you could say is, what if she yeeted it out the window and the police still didn't find it?
Yeah, that's enough. Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot?
I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there at the restaurant on the day of the murder.
Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater. Very well.
I like how they're just letting him choose.
Oh my god. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. That is something that bothers me.
Yay! Good job, Nick.
The court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha! I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess.
Wait, so that means during Goshi's testimony he had 11 cups of coffee.
I guess so.
It doesn't count the ones that he throws at Phoenix's face as cups of coffee that he's had.
Nope.
That was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Goshu. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me. But he totally set me up.
I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right?
It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. It really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me in the heart and the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again. But
Poor
he was
Gumshoe.
trying to help you. He was even flat out happy to be called out.
Yeah.
So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right?
Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds.
I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Well, you're still in the waitress outfit, so he's going to love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you sure you're going to be able to handle him, Nick?
Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds.
Yeah, he does have never-ending bird seeds.
Why did he get those then? I mean, he's short on funds, and he doesn't seem to like the birds. He just wants to throw them at things.
I guess so.
Is this like him actually liking the birds, but not wanting to?
Probably.
He's a Descendere! He's like, I want to sit here and feed the birds, but I can't admit to that, so just take it, birds, take it!
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. Name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me. Mind you, I can be emotional at times. You don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
But he doesn't have one.
Occupation? Ha! Listen, youngin. How much do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do or did back in Japan. I embroidered family custom kimonos.
Well, you could be a tailor then.
Yeah. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you can embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
I'm pretty sure you can find some work. Like, if you're able to do tailoring.
Yeah.
Even if you just focus on embroidery, that's still like a subset of embroidery.
Yeah. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the arrest incident? Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javachino. Seeds? What do you think these are,
I wasn't expecting him to eat
it. I thought those were like bird food.
Yeah. I
Is
see.
it like sunflower seeds where people eat them too?
Maybe. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps? Did I? Oh yes I did. I saw it all. Then please tell the court. We're all ears. Sure, I'll tell you. I'll tell you every last detail. It's really getting into this. What I witnessed. The young man was reading a sports paper. Serving girl brought him a Javachino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she is not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress.
I didn't even recognize her face yesterday.
Yeah. Cut. You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, huh? Newfangled? Well, just talk of radars and glasses. It's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenelg? I wanted to know if Gutch and Braun retained his championship or not. So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question. There are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you could see the victim, that means you were sitting at a table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Ha! I go to that place to drink Javachino. I don't go to sit, I don't remember which table I was sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitress?
Barry doesn't remember, it's been a month.
Mr. Kudo, that's a very grave accusation. Are you sure what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I.
Well,
Let's
that's
see.
very apt.
Yeah. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. But his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress. And that's all what the servant girl put into the Javachino as well. But I know what's coming up and something tells me I'm not gonna like it.
I kind of want to press it just to see what he says. Because I'm half expecting it to be like a liquid or something.
Yeah. Your Honor. We need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask what the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. No question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy? She took some of a small brown bottle and sprinkled it in. Could she have been adding sugar? Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that? Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? Ha! A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is. That was the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? You took just one sip? You young'uns, you waste everything. Those Javachinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop in the cup and then died. Congratulations, you have earned the title of the battiest man to grace a courtroom. So is an immediate death? Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that's possible. Oh yeah, she slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javachino I just drank turn sour in my stomach.
Well, it's nice to know he wasn't Twitch streaming.
Oh yes, I know that feeling. And the waitress, presume she is. Oh boy. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is. Sorry? You can see all the way up to her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform.
Is he talking about her ankles? You can see her ankles?
I guess. So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just as such in a uniform, even me. Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image.
Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. Don't go putting on a waitress uniform.
I guess I got a bit carried away. Come, there are other things I recognize about her, too. He's pretty sure of himself. What should I do?
Push harder. It could have been Phoenix.
Sure you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim, or was it me in that costume, huh? Answer, witness. No, just what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these are the features that you recognize about the defendant. I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose.
All you remember is that she has a ribbon and apron straps.
Does this have straps?
I don't know. Probably, but they're behind it.
No, that wasn't it. Okay. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all, her face? Ha! As if I wouldn't remember that. The witness noticed the straps on the accused apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight.
You know, the easiest way he could have done this is if he just looked at the defendant and then just started describing her from there. If he really wanted to hide it.
Yeah.
Like the stubborn man he is.
The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
Huh. It's got you there, Gramps. People abnormally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment. I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add out details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure.
Old man's testimony is getting longer and longer.
If I can't find a hole in it soon, I'll get an even longer. It'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Mr. Kudo, I'd like you to please take a look at this. God, that filthy thing would shoot filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. You think I'd forget something as dirty as that, Well, you half-witted clot. What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. Huh? And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before, yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Witness! You can't just oops your way out of this. Huh. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Trite, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird. Exactly. When that one waitress put that poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. Hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin is in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot a burger a customer wanted.
You can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well, let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. There was another one of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the nosy brat kept rustling his pages. The young man was listening to the wireless, I remember that well. Then the servant girl in the question brought over the Javachino. The little fidget bit picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. Testimony we have just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. Seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
How are we going to handle this, Nick?
We only need to do this one. We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot.
Just strip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel?
I suppose, but it's what I do best. spectacles. Dark glasses to you. One of the lenses was green, but the other was broken. Newfangled rubbish. That's why I remember him so well. Did have some kind of lens over his left eye. But I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses. Seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance.
We better come up with something sharp and quick.
Guess I'll wait and see if I could challenge him about the spectacles. Newspaper was a sports paper, was it? That young hooligan? I never asked him. Can't you even read without fidgeting, How was I supposed to be able to read the back page with all that rustling going on? I needed to find out if Guts and Braun retained his championship title. It was his paper, not yours. If you wanted to know so bad, why don't you buy your own?
I mean, he's supposed to be a poor man.
Yeah. Dang.
Justin Braun got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway.
I don't know. The wireless? The decadent young rascal. My day was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless. Oh boy. And using an earpiece. It's selfish, that's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it.
You're just trying to look at everything.
See that desperate to listen to the radio? What are you looking at me that for? How dare you?
Poor guy.
But that means if he couldn't hear it and he was right in the table next to him, somebody would have to been closer to hear the radio.
Yeah, he kept getting, I guess he got close as possible. But how did they not notice him? What in the world's going on? Where was he trying to do this from? He even said that he did this to not sit. What if he was just behind the partition?
Yeah, right here?
But isn't that where the counter is?
Yeah.
Where was he sitting? I don't think he even was sitting.
I guess not.
He was trying to look over the victim's shoulder, but somehow did it in a way he couldn't see the other person.
You mean the waitress who you only saw from behind, right? You're one of those, are you? You never let anything go, isn't that right? Maybe. What does it matter if I saw her from behind? Manners don't lie. Better not push it until I get some hard evidence. Free hand? Yes. Which hand was that? Weren't you listening before, clothiers? I said he was rustling a newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, then which hand was it, you moron? Ha! Perhaps the great Mr. Trait has three hands. Yeesh, it's only asking. No need to gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of the cross-examination established just one thing. This old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of whisk.
I guess we need to find a contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh?
Anything will do, even the smallest detail. Just need one mistake and he's ours. I got you now.
You got him.
Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory, I tell you. Nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll beat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. Care to tell us where this is going, Trey? According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Carl, what is this, kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this. That's the cup the victim used,
Cup that
correct?
way, it's definitely in your right hand.
Yep. Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Oh! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he... Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on your testimony? The young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hut-bot and you and your spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault. Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man. Old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little more? But Mr. Godot.
Someone's at the door.
Oh my
Who is it at the
gosh.
door?